If you clicked on this video, you probably want to win, but you're also looking to get better at the game so that you can keep winning. And of course, you need to pick the right operators so that you're able to do that. That's why this beginner operator guide for CGX will give you the top 10 operators to do both of these things. By picking any of these 10 operators, you'll find success easily right from the start, but you'll also learn new elements of the game that will help you as your skill and rank increase. There are also just 10 fantastic operators even at the top ranks, so they're not going to become completely useless to you down the road. Learning how to play all of these operators one at a time is what I would recommend so that you don't get too overwhelmed. Plus, they all have different strengths in different areas, so knowing how to play each one will be a massive benefit to you. Now let's get into it with our 10th best beginner operator, Smoke. Now, when you think of Smoke, you probably don't think beginner operator just because he can be pretty complex. He is a more difficult operator to play right, but if you're able to master his massive playmaking potential, then you'll find yourself in the top ranks in no time. Simply put, his loadout and ability will help you learn practically every single important defense skill that you'll need in this game. With the M5 shotgun, you'll want to learn optimal sight setups, making rotate holes and new lines of sight for your team. But you'll also realize how strong vertical holes are for watching entrances from above or below. Once you practice the recoil of the SMG-11 for a while, you'll find that other guns are much easier to manage, boosting your entire game. With the smoke grenades, you'll have almost endless options and playmaking abilities. You can use them to stall time, retake map control, block off lines of sight, or even just get kills if the opportunity arises. Smoke can be played as a classic anchor, or you can take him to the other side of the map for a roam. Roaming is made easy thanks to that shotgun, which allows you to make rotates and lines of sight on the fly as you need them. Practicing and playing Smoke will teach you a lot about how the game works and what you need to know, plus he's extremely strong at the top ranks as well. However, it's pretty easy to play him wrong, which is why I'd recommend watching how top players play Smoke. Most of the time, it's better to use your smokes early and aggressively to waste time, get in more close range positions, or isolate gunfights. If you're saving them until the very end of a round every single time, you're going to miss out on a lot of the aspects that Smoke brings, or you just won't get consistent value out of his loadout. The only reason Smoke is coming in at 10 is because he is a little more difficult to learn than some of the other operators here on this list. Speaking of, we have our next operator, Nomad, but like Smoke, she's not the most simple operator to learn. However, if you can get around her slight learning curve, you'll find that she's a very strong attacker who thrives in dominating map control. Learning how to take space within the map and hold control of it is a fundamental R6 skill that you definitely want to develop. In this game, map control is the main element to getting kills. The more of the map your team controls, the less freedom the other team has to move around it, making it easier to take them out. With Nomad, you can place her air jabs above or beside doorways and obstacles for various different reasons. The first is to hold map control by covering flanks. When a defender walks past the air jab, it will detonate, launching them to the ground for a couple seconds. This leaves them vulnerable for a very short period of time so that you can get the kill. The great part about this is that you can hold multiple flank routes at the same time, having 3 air jabs to place around the map. This allows you to focus on what's directly in front of you and only need to react to the flank once those traps go off. It's also great if you're running breach charges and going above the bomb site. This way you can open up the floor to kill defenders on site from above. But air jabs do have more uses than just flank watching, which a lot of players miss out on. Using the air jabs aggressively is something that's worth learning. If there's multiple areas where the defenders could be, you can shoot them there to stop them from peeking those areas for a short period of time, forcing them to shoot the air jab before swinging. This is the perfect time to push in and make a play, especially if you're using flashbangs. Between the flashbangs and the air jabs, you can blind and block off a ton of different angles in order to get into a more advantageous position and tear apart the defenders. Learning how to make plays off utility like this is an extremely strong skill to develop, and it can be useful for any attacker with throwable playmaking utility. If you're looking for an operator with a deadly weapon and high playmaking potential, then I definitely recommend Nomad. It's time for something a little less complicated though, which is why number 8 is Legion. Legion is one of the best beginner operators for information and map control, while having a simple loadout that's very beginner friendly. His goo mines can be placed on different routes that the attackers might take to gain information if they're there. They're especially strong on windows leading into the bomb site, as attackers can't plant with the goo mine inside of them. To play Legion right, you'll want to try and make plays off of the information from the mines, getting aggressive when the attackers are slowed down and at a disadvantage. A lot of this game is really just taking gunfights when you have the advantage, and Legion's goo mines are perfect for it. Legion will teach you the skills of target prioritization and map control, having the extremely lethal T5 SMG to back him up. But he's also got the super shorty shotgun, and like smoke, can set up the bomb site with various rotates, lines of sight, and vertical possibilities. Legion will teach you a lot while landing you success early on, giving him a great position on this list. What about a simple attacker though? Well, number 7 is Thermite. Thermite is so simple to play that he literally has the word beginner inscribed on his DNA. All you have to do as Thermite is literally just open up reinforced walls, bait for kills, and maybe plant the bomb. This operator will teach you the basics of teamwork, droning, and hard breaching. He's a very team-oriented operator, relying on teammates to get rid of wall denial, push off your information, and cover you while you plant. If you don't like working with people, or just don't trust people to actually help you, then don't play Thermite. He's very good for learning how to hate your teammates, but if you can get past that, then he's an excellent operator overall. The trick to finding success on Thermite without losing your mind is to focus on what you can control. If there's wall denial and you can't open the wall, look for other possibilities. Don't just sit there and stare at it. Rotating to another area of the map or even thermiting the floor are both viable options. Most of the time though, you'll want to just go with your team and help them wherever you can, whether it's a drone for info or getting that bomb planted. Playing Thermite is a thankless role. When you win, you'll get no credit, and when you lose, you'll probably get blamed. It truly takes a humble hero to play Thermite, but if you do it well, you can win a lot more. So here's how the breakdown of each round should go. Firstly, make it out of spawn alive with the diffuser. If you have to, just let your teammates go first, or throw a drone to check if it's safe. Getting spawn peeked on hard breach is not the end of the world, but it's gonna make the defender's job a lot easier. Once you've made it to the building, depending on the site, you can either drone into the building to help your teammates gain some map control, or you can just open up the outer wall of the bomb site. Once you've established that map control and the wall is open, just drone some more to see what's actually going on in the bomb site. From here, you have two options. If it's clear, push into the site. If it's not clear, sit and bait for kills in cover. But what are you actually waiting for at this point? Well, you're either waiting for the defenders to peek you and get free kills because of it, or you're waiting for your teammate to push in off their utility or their map control. The timing of when to push is the hardest part of playing Thermite, but if you're aware of where your teammates are, the main goal is just to push with them. Once you do actually push into the bomb site, you're either going to push through it and kill the defenders with the help of your flashbangs or smoke grenades, or you're gonna plant the bomb and try to escape into a safe position to cover it from. The best spots to plant are the ones that are both safe to plant in and safe to protect afterwards. The better the plant spot and the more you plant, the more you win. Most post plants are extremely attacker sided, so try to plant as much as possible, and that's pretty much it when it comes to Thermite. Next up is Bandit, and while Bandit isn't the best wall denial in the game, he is still extremely good for it, especially at a beginner level. Bandit's not only great for electrifying walls in the prep phase to slow down the attackers, but he's also got various levels of skill that you can play him at. For the ultimate beginner, simply place the bandits down on main reinforcements and then use his lethal MP7 and C4 combo to rack up as many kills as possible. You can learn the fundamental skills of the game this way by either roaming or anchoring on site without having to think too much about your ability. Just learning the basics is a great place to start. And once you've got that down, learning how to bandit trick would be the next step, placing the bandit charges down in between EMPs to completely counter Thatcher or other operators with EMP charges. This takes both good timing and good ears, being able to hear when the Thermite or Ace charge is being placed. It's going to take some time and practice, but once you figure it out, it's extremely effective. The downside is once you've made it to the top ranks, players are going to learn how to counter bandit tricking, making him a lot less effective. This is when Cade sort of becomes that primary wall denial. Number 5 is the one and only Ashe. Becoming an Ashe main is a staple of R6, and while Ashe can be extremely effective, she does have her downsides. Firstly, the R4C is a great weapon to learn, having some moderate recoil and dealing a ton of damage. But if you're trying to play Ashe, be warned that 90% of the time someone on your team will try and beat you to it. So while playing Ashe might be fun and becoming an Ashe main sounds nice, the reality is everyone is also trying to do it too. Ashe is great for learning how to be aggressive and using your utility on the most simple level. When you see defender bulletproof gadgets, just use your Ashe charge to blow them up. After gaining some information, you can then push into the defenders and try to shoot them. She's very simple, yet so powerful and widely versatile, hence making her a great choice for any round. If you want to add some strategy to Ashe, you can play vertically, opening floors with her secondary breaching charges or even the Ashe launcher if needed. This can add add a lot of pressure to the defense and make it easier to secure those kills in the gunfights. Playing Ashe is a lot of fun, and she's a great operator to learn the basic aiming and mechanics of the game. But we have to move on to our second best beginner defender, which has to be Melusi. With a decent weapon that's easy to control and one of the strongest abilities on the defense, this is an operator that's worth playing. Melusi, like Nomad, dominates map control, just on the defense rather than the attack. Instead of launching people to the side, her webs slow attackers that walk into the proximity of them, giving you a massive advantage. To play Melusi, you want to place your webs on various entrances around the site to create this bubble of information. Any attackers that rush in too quickly without clearing them are going to be where you'll find them the most useful. When you hear them go off, don't just sit and wait, but react to the situation and try to capitalize off the disadvantaged attacker. They move slowly while you move fast, meaning they're an easier target to aim at, giving you an advantage in the gunfight. Plus, they might be looking around to destroy it instead of where you're swinging from. Now, they can be destroyed and hacked by Brava, but as long as you're aware of this, you can position yourself so that you're not getting caught off guard. Plus, just having the Melusi is forcing the other team to do these steps that a lot of people just skip. Information is power in this game, and having 4 wubs as passive information is a fantastic ability. Remember, just aim and hold the areas where your wubs aren't covering, as you don't have information on those spots and an attacker could sneak in there at any time. Then when the wubs go off is when you react and claim your kills. Our second best attacker though is Buck. Buck is such a fantastic operator, whether you're a beginner or a long-time R6 player. His skeleton key is the fastest and most effective breaching tool in the game, helping you learn how to play vertically whether you're above or below the bomb site. His quick switch from shotgun to AR means you can capitalize off breaches quickly to get kills onto unsuspecting defenders. More than just kills though, the shotgun gives you the power to push defenders around the bomb site, making some areas just unsafe to play, forcing them into other spots. This helps your teammates get more kills too, because as the defenders are squirming around looking for new spots of cover, your team is shooting them in the side of the head. Buck is one of my favorite beginner operators just because he teaches you so much about the game. The more you blow open with the skeleton key, the more you learn about the maps and what leads to where. Map knowledge is one of the most important and essential things in this game, and he's the guy to teach it to you. Plus, his gun is fairly manageable, and the flashbangs are going to teach you those key playmaking skills and aggressiveness just like Nomad. Honestly, just try him out for a few games, and trust me, you'll love him. Let's move on now to the best beginner defender in all of Siege X, Capan. Capan is super strong, especially for a beginner, but there's a few things you should know to start off right. Firstly, aim at the bottom of doorways when you place them, as it's less likely the attackers will see them when walking through. Next, placing a single trap beside the new explosive pipes will insta-kill any attacker that walks through it, since the pipes are lethal. This lets you save your other traps for other areas instead of wasting multiple on a single doorway. Placing 2 traps on a door will instantly kill a 3-speed like an Ashe main rushing straight into sight, but it's only going to down a 2 armor. A 3 armor will survive the traps with 5 HP, assuming they had full health. That's why I like to place 3 traps on one doorway that are far away from where I'm playing, basically guaranteeing a kill if any attacker walks through it. When placing them around the site, I only usually use 2 because I'll be able to capitalize on those traps if they're hit. Common routes are going to be the best spots for traps, as it just increases the chances of actually getting kills with them. You could use 1 trap on 5 different doorways, but I don't really recommend it. While it is good for map control and gathering information, it's much less effective for getting kills. Basically, after hitting 1, the attackers are just going to check the rest of the doorways throughout the round so that they don't hit any more. The thing about Capan is he's really good when they're not expecting it, so after a round or 2, I just recommend playing a different defender on this list to keep them guessing. But the best part about Capan and why he's great for beginners is what you can learn while playing him. Like Bandit, once you place your traps, you can just focus on the fundamental skills of the game, like playing off your teammates, checking cameras, and contesting map control. If you can master these fundamentals of defense, you can find success on any of the operators in the game. But guys, we've made it to the best beginner operator in all of Siege X, and that operator is Striker. Let's just say this, attacking is really hard, especially compared to defense. Learning how to take the map safely, using your utility effectively, and doing all the necessary steps to succeed is not an easy thing to do. Striker is the best operator in the game to learn how how to attack properly. If you're trying to learn how to add pressure and open walls, then the EMP hard breach tool combination is perfect for doing just that. Learning to take space and use utility to your advantage is great when you run any combination of smokes, flashbangs, and grenades. Striker is an operator that teaches you the basics of utility and attacking in a simple way that's extremely effective. He has the M4, the best gun in the game. Well, it's either that or the AK-12, both of which look extremely good with the Poxonlox charm equipped to them, which you can get by subscribing to me on Twitch, link is in the description. And this charm will also make you way better at the game too, probably. Anyway, the M4 is nasty, but he's also got a secondary shotgun, meaning soft destruction is also on the table, improving your skill ceiling even further. My favorite part of all of this though is that Striker will teach you how to strategize and make plays. Knowing you want to open a long line of sight, so you pick the EMPs and hard breach only for it to pay off is very satisfying. But it's also going to teach you how effective strategy is in Siege X. Striker is quite literally a flawless operator, and picking him every single round is entirely viable thanks to his versatility. If you're looking for something a little more difficult though, then check out yesterday's video where I covered the 10 strongest operators in Siege X this season. I'll see you over there.